Hello and welcome back to Granted Gardens. Today, Tyler and I decided that we were going to pull the trigger and update our arches for the garden.
They're not really arches anymore.
They're more like, droopy.
Saggies.
So yeah, the ones that we've tried, and we tried a couple different ones in the past, they've all failed. So I just decided, just get the cattle panels. So we went up to Tractor Supply in town and we purchased some cattle panel. I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions about how to get cattle panel home, and to be completely honest with you, we didn't know how we were gonna get the cattle panel home. I had a little bit of an idea and a lot of faith, and we got them home. So we got 3 things of cattle panel. I'll show you what we've got, our little setup to get them home. Alrighty, so this is how we got our 3 cattle panels home. Borrowed a trailer from my parents, hooked it up to the Jeep, and we just kind of did a teardrop shape when we went and picked them up, and then zip tied the ends. So these are 16-foot cattle panels, 4 gauge cattle panels. We got from Tractor Supply. I think that the initial cost was about $22 and some change a piece. They had a low stock of good ones and they had a bunch of damaged ones in the back. So we did actually end up getting the damaged ones, which you can just tell they're bent a bit, but we got a discount for that. So that was worth it for us because we're just using them in the garden. And then as far as tying up, we zip tied the daylights out of this thing. We got zip ties all over the place. And then Tyler had used some of this, what is this, wire?
That's cord, cable. That wasn't me. That was the paracord in here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he had brought some paracord with him and made sure that everything was tied down really well. So this is the artwork that is the creativity of getting cattle panels home a la Granted Gardens. So just to give you guys a bit of a look at our old arches, I'm going to swing into the garden real quick and show you what they look like right now. I'll be honest, initially when I decided we wanted to do arches in the garden, I was not crazy about spending a ton of money on the arches. I really thought that, I could find a cheaper alternative and make them work just as well. First round, we did go up to Tractor Supply, and I think it was chicken wire, was the first round. That's no longer with us because that caved pretty quickly once we had peas and beans, once the beans got up on it, essentially. Then the second round here, I actually got from a garage sale. And my thought on it was that the actual space between the wires here was larger, so I thought that maybe it would be stronger. Not the case. No, not the case. So this is what I had gotten from the garage sale. I'll give you a closer look. As you can see, it failed pretty badly on us. It caved in. So these arches, Tyler actually put up, he took down the old stuff from the chicken wire, and he put these up at the end of spring last year. And then it snowed. So these never actually even saw plants go on them, unfortunately. But it snowed, and the weight of the snow made it cave in on both of them. So it's caved over here too. I'll give you a little bit of a closer look at, let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah. At the actual gauge size and the type of material. It's just really not big enough. And if you're familiar with Maryland weather, we didn't even really have much of a winter this year. So the little bit of snow that did pile up on these was very light and wasn't very much. So that just goes to show how little the ability for these to hold any weight was. So we just decided to go right into getting the cattle panel, and this time we know that we will not have to spend money on any other arches. This is going to last us forever. So I'm happy that we went that route. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm going to try and set my camera up and show you guys how we're going to install our cattle panel arches in the garden. Now, what's really easy about how we set these up is we use zip ties to connect the arch to the T-post to hold it in place. This is an awesome idea because in the scenario that we are in right now, all I have to do is just go through and clip off these little zip ties. So it'll be quick and easy to be able to take this down. It'll be quick and easy to be able to put this arch back up. And if for any reason, God forbid, that we do need to replace the cattle panel, it'll be simple to just cut them off of the T-post and use zip ties to put the new one back up. All right, we are finished with putting up the brand new arches in the garden. Here is our new arches debut on our YouTube page. Alright, so we'll start over here. This one was the last one that we put up. Oh, you can see it. I had a different plan for this, but it seemed like it probably wasn't going to pan out. I actually like this better because I think that it adds a little bit of character to the garden, and it also kind of helps separate our garden bed areas from our Back to Eden garden. So I think it's neat to kind of have a way to divide those two spaces to make it feel like, you know, you're really crossing over into a different element. Here we've got one in starting here in this far bed and then going into the middle bed. So this arch here. I'm really planning on doing a lot of peas on these. We've got some different peas that we're doing this year, maybe some melons, so we'll see. And then last but not least, this one here behind me, that's kind of right into the entrance of the garden. It's the first section of the garden that you see when you walk through the gate. So I'll show you some of the details of what we did here. The situation here for this arch, pretty basic. Like I mentioned, zip ties are our best friend. So we've just got 3 zip ties here on this little T-post holding the cattle panel up. So we've just got 3 there, very simple. This is the largest garden bed that we have. So I kind of moved this back a little bit so that we had some room to plant on the inside here. If that's not an option for you, if you have a smaller bed, you can butt it up to the front and just plant on this back side here. But we had some extra room here, so I utilized that. Same here on this side. For this one here, these beds, obviously this one and that one are much smaller, so we did kind of not leave as much space in between here. And again, just zip ties. So for these T-posts, I actually got these on our local website, our local market website. Someone down the road was selling them for like $1 a piece. So we did save some money on T-posts later. But the initial arch that we put up, we did buy our T-posts. So these ones were purchased from Tractor Supply. I think they were about $5. He looks so handsome under the new arch. Well, there you have it. We finally have, hopefully, the very last arches we will ever have to put up. Hopefully we will not have to put up anymore. So we're all set, and this is it. Wish us the best of luck. I am so excited to get stuff planted and see these babies in action. They're gonna be awesome. I'm really excited. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful start to the season. Hopefully many people are taking up some gardening with all the things that we've got going on right now. If you've got some free time on your hands, we encourage you to try out gardening and share some of your stories and your pictures and your videos with us. We would love to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. You want to wave bye?
Bye.
Bye.